Alright guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we got a 2015 Honda Accord, 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17. Same procedure. This customer wants to replace the alternator. So we're going to do a full job. We're going to remove the belt, everything. I am not going to disconnect the battery. You should disconnect the battery, but your idle will go bananas. But anyways, let's leave that alone. We got an alternator. Put in an original alternator. Go to a Honda, pick this up. This thing is almost like 600, 500 bucks. There's the part number if you guys need it. If you're gonna put aftermarket stuff on it, no good. This thing does not have a core, and the reason why I say that is because if you put an aftermarket alternator, it's gonna fail on you within weeks. Anyways, we're gonna remove the belt, the tensioner, push the tensioner. We're gonna remove the tensioner out. We're going to take off this little guy. It's direct power to the battery. That's why you want to disconnect the battery. But I like to loop tape around it to protect the idle. We're going to disconnect this, move the harness out of the way, and 2 bolts, and this thing comes out. A new alternator goes in. It should be very simple to do. Okay, to start off this job, we're going to need a 17 millimeter. What we're going to do is we're going to put it on this tensioner right here. We have to yank this little guy in a direction where it can release our belt. You see that? So you're going to pull towards you, and it will release the belt. So we're gonna take this belt off, really simple and easy. And this guy, make sure you have enough clearance so this tensioner can let go of your wrench. So you don't want to remove the belt completely, it's all up to you, but I like to just push my belt down and leave it down, and that way it's still on the rest of the pulleys. But it's very simple to get. I got a belt video, just a belt video on this guy. So what we need to do is right down here on this tensioner hydraulic, there's a 12 millimeter, and we're gonna see if you could get away with just and then you have Allen right in the middle. So let's get those two. Okay, so right from down here in front of the radiator right here, I got this 12 millimeter wrench. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna remove. Just grab your coolant bottle here, just put it to the side. Make sure you don't put it on the catalytic converter because it will melt. And it's kind of hot right now, so I got no choice but to probably just let it hang to one side over here, and as long as it don't drip, we're good. So what we're gonna do is put your hand right from here. So we're gonna pull this wrench up like that once it's on the bolt. So it's gonna be hard for the camera to see, so no need to see, but there you go. I have it on and it came right off. So I might get a different tool. But there you go, we got it on. This thing is popping. My wrench might be no good, but I'll get a socket instead now. So I got a 12 millimeter ratchet here with this 12 millimeter socket. So this should be, there you go. This should be the trick right here. After that, we're gonna get an Allen, and we're gonna remove this little guy completely. The tensioner should be like 10-minute job to remove the tensioner. Let's push this belt back down. You got more than enough clearance as long as you remove the little bottle out of the way. So let me go as much as I can with this little guy. Okay, it's coming out. It's kind of stiff, so what I want to do is I'm going to put my gear wrench, because gear wrench will make it quicker. Okay, there we go. For some reason this bolt is kind of getting stuck, or my wrench is getting stuck, but once I have this off, I will show you guys. So the bolt is pretty loose. And there we have the 12 millimeter. You see that? You heard the noise in the alternator? That is the reason why we're changing this. It's making a squeaking sound. So, time for me to see if we have more than enough clearance for the bottom alternator bolt. So we don't. So we need to take out the Allen in the middle. So I just want to confirm we got an 8 millimeter Allen here. I'm still not sure if that's the size. I've done so many of these, but I completely forgot what size it was. So we're gonna see if we can get this guy to go on, or we'll get extension. Okay, we don't need extension because it will not fit. So we're gonna go from the bottom, and let's see. No, there you go. Magic. Number 8 is the size. So we're gonna remove that little Allen right in the center of that tensioner, and once you remove that, you don't want to go all the way with the ratchet. So we're gonna take this off. We're gonna turn by hand. So I need to go be careful with the AC line. I need to turn this manually now. So what I want to do here is I want to put the Allen, and you're gonna wiggle the tensioner around. At the same time, you're gonna turn, and this Allen bolt should just come right out. Okay, a few more turns. Okay, a few more turns. And there you go. The tensioner is going to try to, let's take off this bolt. Let's take off our Allen. Let's pull out the bolt because they're pretty long. So you don't want them bothering you. There you go. Allen 8mm is what I used here. I'm gonna put this away, and your tensioner should simply just come out this way. Okay, just like that. You shouldn't have issue taking this guy out, and putting it back is the same process. I do have a video just on this tensioner. Anyways, now we got 2 bolts, 14 here, and then we got 1 in the bottom. We're gonna reach both of these. Let's see, it's a 14 and a 14. So I was wrong. In the bottom, it's a 12mm. I'm gonna use this extension with the 12mm, and it goes into like a little groove. Okay, is that the 12? I thought I just tried the 14. 14 didn't fit on it. So yeah, it might be 14. So let me get my 14. Okay, by mistake, I put on a 15, thinking it was a 14. So I got a 14mm socket here, 14mm. Let's go back in, and again, usually they're the same size. That's why, like, I don't even want to look. I know. There you go. Fits right on it. Long leverage ratchet. There you go. So guys, bear with me here. Let me get this guy out, and once the bolt's out, I will show you guys what exactly I did here. And it is gonna be like a long stiff bolt, not that long, about like this long, like 1.25 inches. Anyways, let me get this out and then we'll continue. So I managed to turn this bolt. It was kind of really difficult. I got it off. It's not stripped or anything, but it does have like a little bit of corrosion, but we'll clean it up and I'll put that back together. But now the easy part, we're gonna work over here. We still got our 14mm right there to remove, and let's take off the harness and get some tape. So what we're gonna do next is you want to squeeze these little tabs and get this harness out of here. So usually they break, that's fine, and if they don't come out, you just fork them out. Our next few steps is to dismantle this alternator. So if you're gonna, like I was showing you guys, these will usually break, they're brittle, or you could just take off that 10mm, but we could do that later on. So we're gonna go take this guy off right here, and then we got a connector down here. I'm gonna show you that right now. This goes straight to the AC compressor. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna squeeze this and take this off. It's a good idea to remove this guy too. And it's just, you see what you did, what I did here was the same thing that I'm about to do right here. You squeeze this, and usually it won't come out. This one, okay, there you go, it comes right off. So once I take this off, it got to be a 12mm down below, but you can't let that touch anything because it will short circuit. So let me get a 12mm. So here's my 12mm socket right here, and what I want to do is take this off. Once this is off, you want to hold it, you do not want to let it go. And let me take off this nut, and what I'm gonna do is you do not want to let this go. What I like to do here is I like to take some electrical tape, disconnect the battery, go through the idle issue, or just do this, cover this baby up, make sure this is not visible, and it can't touch anything because it's live power. It will short circuit, and I'm gonna let it just hang right here to the side so it doesn't touch anything. So we're back to this alternator one more time. I'm gonna go get a 14mm, and we're gonna remove that bolt right there. Then 14mm, I'm gonna use this gear wrench, and there you go. That was pretty easy compared to the bottom bolt. And once this is loose, okay, you know, remember this guy has to be somewhere safe. So I'm gonna just let it hang up on the top here because it won't touch anything. It will spark and arc and it might destroy whatever it touch. And especially the AC lines are very easy to get through. Okay, there you go, it's loose. And then it gets stuck again, it's loose. Come on, little guy. Come on, wherever you are. And here goes nothing. There's the long bolt. This guy comes off. We're like pretty much hitting the stand like it did. So let me fix this up. Alright. Now the stand doesn't want to be stable anymore. There you go. That's pretty good. So I'm gonna get myself a small pry bar. I gotta be by the reason why I keep it in mind is because I'm right in back of it. And you want to fork this guy out, and it should simply just make sure you don't let it drop. And this guy comes right out. The alternator comes right off. Okay, there you have it. So the bottom bolt gave me a little bit of trouble. So what I want to do is I want to clean the area up, lubricate it really well. But if it had to replace anything, if that thing broke, I would have to change this whole thing, water pump and everything. The alternate AC compressor would have to drop. Long pipe, this whole bracket would have to be replaced. Anyways, let me clean this area up and figure out my threading, and we'll continue. We're going to take off this 10mm here and a 10mm here. We're going to transfer this plate. Very important, I've seen people not put this on. This protects the heat from the catalytic converter to this area right here. And also, I am going to remove this later on. I will take that off later on because I know my socket is not going to fit on it. We can do that any moment. But let's go to the new alternator. Same procedure. We're going to take this little guy. It's like a little heat shield, so I'm going to need both of my hands. The camera's going to probably go down for a minute. And let's see if I can get it. You never know. That's one. There you go. Perfect. So let's put this in, and let's put this in. That's it. That's all you need to do. Now it's time to go onto the wheel. Okay, so we got our new alternator. Remember, if you need to push this back, push this back. But let's see how good we are here. There you go. Perfect. We're gonna take that long bolt. This long bolt is gonna hold everything in place for us. So this little guy, we're gonna catch the threads. And once I catch the threads, it's not in yet. There you go. So once I catch the threads, I'll probably tighten this all the way, just snug it, don't lock it up, so I'm still able to move the alternator. So let me do that right now. Then I'm going to put the bottom bolt in. Then we'll lock up both the bolts. Okay, it seems like it's almost there. There you go. I'm still able to, okay, I'm going to go a little bit more. Okay, I still should be able to move this alternator because it will assist me in the bottom. Anyways, that's that. Now I'm going to go to the bottom bolt. Okay, now I'm gonna take this bottom bolt, make sure you clean it, lubricate it. Some WD-40 or greasing would do. So there you go, I caught the threads. So I'm gonna tighten this bolt. It's the same procedure. Now we're just tightening it. So I locked up this bolt, and then I'm gonna tighten both of these bolts, and we'll come back. So turn is the magic here. So let me do this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so got this tight. And all I need to do is tighten now. Remember, this bolt is not all the way tight. We just snugged it. The bottom bolt just is tight, like the camera can't see, so I just tighten it all the way. Now we're gonna tighten this guy up nice and good. And the alternator shouldn't move anymore. Okay, so that's done. I got this thing sitting over here. So let's continue with putting the tensioner in. So let me get the Allen right from the center and the tool for this, okay? What I like to do is put this somewhere safe so I don't drop it. Let's put the tensioner in. Remember, we took out the tensioner like this. Same way, just guide it down, twist, turn, whatever you gotta do, and this guy just simply within a seconds it goes right. Okay, I got it the wrong way. See, sometimes you make that mistake. I definitely got this thing. Okay, no, I don't got it the wrong way. I got it upside down, so this has just got to come up like that. And the cylinder in the bottom got to go in the bottom. Now I should be able to catch this little guy right from over here. So it's going to be a lot of moving around here just to capture the threads. So make sure you do not cross thread anything. Make sure everything is just like where the tensioner is gonna sit. So right now we're far down. I dropped the tapes. Okay, so right now, okay, our bolt just went into a spot where it shouldn't go. So let me see if I can get that out. Okay, it's not supposed to happen. That's not supposed to happen. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get the bolt out. The bolt is sitting behind underneath the bracket, so I'm gonna have to just try to fish it with this little guy. There you go. It's coming back out. I'll wiggle it so it doesn't go back in. Okay, there you go. We almost had it. There you go. So okay, there you go. I even caught the spot where it's supposed to be at. It should catch your threads very simple and easy. And if it's giving you a hard time, just like the bottom alternator bolt gave me a really hard time. And now what I want to do is I want to get this as much as I can, because the ratchet or wrench is not going to help me here. It'll just be free playing. So let me turn. There you go. It's like almost all the way in. There you go. So what I want to do is, while we at it, I am going to take the little bolt. Let's put a little bit of lubrication in that, because that gave me a little bit of a hard time also. A little bit of WD-40 on that. I'm going to go right from the bottom over here. We'll capture that little guy right where it's supposed to be at. There you go. And I haven't caught the threads yet. It's kind of giving me trouble because the load, there's supposed to be no load. I'm just not sure what's going on here. Okay, so I got that. So I'm gonna lock that up. I'm gonna lock both of the bolts up, and then we'll put the belt on. So all I want to do is tighten that and that. Okay, so it's pretty much done. We're gonna take that bracket off, put it right here, but we can do that later. Right now I just want to finish up the job. And got another customer showing up very soon, so I can't have this car on the way. So make sure you take the tape off. Make sure you do not let this thing fall. Once you get it in here, you're all safe. Make sure you put the 12mm on top. We're gonna lock this baby up, and you can let that go now. Put this clip in. Make sure this little clip goes in right there. You don't want this AC belt hanging. Make sure you put your reservoir back in. AC compressor connector got to go back in to its spot. Can't see jack from up here. Okay, there you go. I still can't see nothing. So just manage that little guy, or you won't have AC if you don't do that. Anyways, gonna look for the 12mm. It's got to be hanging around here somewhere. Okay. Let me find that little guy, and I'll be back. Last little step. Don't go crazy with this either, because you will snap this little guy, so he's nice and tight. And put the cover on so nothing can short circuit this little guy. And that's it. Bada bing, bada boom. Put that little bracket right there, and you're all good to go. And don't forget the reservoir. I had to remove the reservoir out of the way because they kept on bothering me. So this guy goes into this little slot. And I've seen people do work on these cars, and they'll leave the reservoir right there, and next thing you know, it's melted. The car's overheating. Anyways, gonna put the bracket in. It's all good to go. Make sure nothing is loose. Make sure your belt is on nice and proper. Thank you for watching my video.